I did like a weekend with me, and I thought today I would just do a day in the life. Yeah, it's Saturday. The world is our oyster. I have just a bit of a slow morning at home, and I'm going for a hike with a girlfriend. So I thought I would just take you through my daily routine and take you along for a little hike. We're going to Mount Finlayson, which is a mountain in Goldstream Park, and it is just so beautiful. It's looking a little overcast today, so the views might not be as incredible as they could be, but it's still a nice day to get outside. Let's go. There's been a change of plans. My girlfriend is not feeling well today. And I was sort of like, oh, that's my permission to have a lazy day. And then I realized I actually really want to go for a hike. So we're still going. We're still going on our hike. We're gonna go solo, but we'll be together. Washing my face. I use CeraVe. I don't complicate things too much. My skin probably wishes I did a bit more. I moisturize with CeraVe. Way too much. We'll just give the elbows a little love. There we go. One of the things I truly love about living in Victoria is that you feel like you're in the city, so you do get the benefit of like city living, if that's your thing. But the wilderness, like really truly feeling like you are in the woods off the grid, is as close as 20 minutes away. So where I'm going is Goldstream Park, and depending on traffic, it should be about a 20-minute drive. And it's kind of up north, like you're heading north of the island, of Vancouver Island. So this is like a drive that I have driven my whole life. My dad lives in Nanaimo, so my entire life has been spent going up and down this highway. And it's something I take for granted. It's something that I rarely stop to appreciate. So my focus today will be to be experiencing something I've experienced before and trying to get something new from it. Yeah, let's go. So I'm gonna be climbing up there. I'm always cold when I start a hike, and I consider going back for more layers. And I just need to remember I'm gonna be warm really soon, and I just need to move a little faster. Here we go. I think when you're from somewhere, I'm already out of breath. It's so easy to take things for granted and kind of have the mentality like, oh, I'll do that again someday. I can always do that again. It'll always be there. And I'm doing this hike, realizing like it's been a really long time since I've actually done this hike. And, you know, maybe 5 years. But to think like I may not do this hike for another 5 years. Especially when I think about moving to another country, moving to the States, it'll become less and less. Just had a laugh with these two other hikers who had stopped halfway up a hill and they were like shedding layers, putting their hair up. Yeah, it doesn't take long to get warm. Sweat stash has entered the chat. I remember the first time hiking this mountain. I didn't make it to the top. It was like the dead of the summer. I don't even want to think of what kind of shoes I was wearing, probably flip-flops. And yeah, between the heat and probably not drinking enough water, I got so nauseous. And I think we were like not even 10 minutes from the summit. And I had to turn around. Oh man, look at that. That's good. I've never met a grumpy hiker. Everyone is just like laughing at themselves. Like it's not without struggle and challenge. But people are just like sharing their experiences. The good and the hard, the new. So I'm at the summit, and throughout this hike, you know, I've been really reflective on this place I get to call home. And, you know, my mind wandered to an appreciation for this province, British Columbia, Vancouver Island. And, you know, I wanted to give tribute to the province for taking such good care of our parks and making them so accessible, and for the safety I feel when I hike. I can hike alone, and I started to really process like, okay, so yes, we're so lucky to live here and these lands are taken care of, but it wouldn't be possible for me to experience this kind of joy, this kind of freedom, this kind of safety, if our Indigenous people, the Lekwungen speaking people, the Songhees, the Esquimalt, the Malahat, the Wasanic people, these are our Indigenous people, and they are sharing their land. They are allowing us access to these lands, and I just wanted to sit with that and show an appreciation for that. And I don't want to forget it. I don't want them to be a second thought or a third thought. I want it to just run through. And yeah, so thank you. It's funny how we measure a goal or a destination. Like, this whole time in my mind, the destination has been the summit. It's like all about getting to the summit. And now I'm on the descent going down, and I'm like rushing through it. Like, I notice I'm not even present. I'm just like focused on getting back to the car. And really, I'm only halfway through this adventure. There's so much more. I've definitely been someone who wants to do things, but wants to have done them. You know what I mean? Like, fast forwarding to the point where I've already accomplished it, and not just being present in the experience itself, like just wanting the story. What is that? I'm getting a little dirty. Definitely a different experience going down. This mountain keeps you mindful. You can't be distracted. You have to really pick your footing every step. Did a couple of slides on my bum, twisted my ankle a little, nothing major, but I'm staying mindful. Sometimes when I hike, I have my AirPods in, I'm listening to a podcast or music, and that's when I kind of just need that self-reflection time, that inward time. And today I was so clearly craving connection by just the sheer number of people I chatted with on this trail, and it's just like, yeah, it's just a good reminder that sometimes we can be connected even on our own. You can do things on your own and still find connection. Whether that's connection to yourself, connection with other people who are out there on their own, or connection to just the environment you're in and the people you find in it, the animals you find in it, the nature, the beauty. And today I just felt like a real openness to connection and people, and I wanted to talk, and I'm glad I did this. I'm learning that I can do all kinds of things on my own and still feel connected. Back in the car, drinking my smoothie, and I think I have decided I'm gonna drive a little further north to one of my favorite thrift stores. I never really make a point of coming up here anymore. We're just gonna do that. It's Saturday. I'm feeling good. This smoothie will sustain me for a while. I'll go home, make some lunch. Life's good.
FortisBC.com/rebates to discover all our...
Home safe. I didn't end up buying anything at the thrift store, which is actually great. I'm in such a perpetual state of minimizing, not spending money, and just wanting like a little treat. So we resisted today. And now I'm just gonna make some food. I am gonna warm up some curry I made last night. And I'm just gonna chill. I think I might watch a show. I might do a little reading. I'm hoping to hear from Brian soon. He's flown home to Maryland for his Uncle Bill's funeral. So he's out east with his family. He'll be there until Tuesday. And it's interesting how we've been doing this long distance, but I'm noticing how far away he feels when, I mean, he's physically further away, but from my perspective, it shouldn't change much because a video call is a video call, you know, like, but he just feels far away. And yeah, I'm wishing I could go with him. Yeah, I wish I was there. My finances didn't allow me to take a trip at this point. I hope that's not always the case. It won't always be the case, but I had to sit this one out, and that's okay. I'm there in spirit. I've just been thinking about Brian and thinking about the family, and I'm really glad Brian's there. I'm really glad that it's no question for him. He shows up, and that's just such an admirable quality. I just have so much respect for Brian. I just got off the phone with my dad. We chatted for about an hour, which was really nice. We try to talk every week. He lives up island, about 2 hours away. And yeah, it's, sometimes it's really uplifting to talk to my dad, and other times I leave the phone call feeling a little bit worried. He's getting older and definitely has some health challenges with his breathing and his mobility. So there are just a lot of things that he can't do on his own these days, and it leads me to worry. But it's actually been such an important relationship and process for me to accept his journey and accept his life in his terms, according to his terms, and to just honor that. So it's great because we are able to, you know, talk about current events, kind of the way the world is right now, and he is always able to bring in references from like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and I really do cherish and value his storytelling. And he's just got such an incredible memory, and yeah, I've learned a lot from my dad. So good chat. And now I am gonna just be working on my iPad for a little bit. I am hoping to get inspired on Pinterest with some recipes for the week. I am trying to stick to a $300 food budget this month, and I'm trying to really get good at using what I have on hand and trying to find inspiration from the food I have as a bit of a starting point. So that's one thing. And then I'm also just gonna spend a little bit of time on Canva, hopefully making a few posts for Instagram for this coming week. I've gotten in the habit of trying to, as much as I can, just sit down and blast a few out all at once on Canva, just get into a bit of a groove with it. And since I mapped out my content calendar for the entire month, I can like look at it. I'm looking at it. And sometimes just coming up with the ideas themselves is the hardest part. And then sitting down on Canva is actually quite easy when the ideas are already laid out. Yeah, so that's really the most exciting thing going on. I just heard from Brian and he is absolutely wiped. So we'll have a proper phone call tomorrow when he's driving from Maryland to Virginia. But yeah, he's just staying with his brother in Maryland. And yeah, the time change I think is kicking his ass, like the 3-hour difference and just like being sprung into action as soon as he got there, not really having like any time to adjust. So that makes a lot of sense that he would be pooped. So yeah, there may be something to show you, maybe not. This may be the end if you don't see me again. It's been a great day, but I'll try to check in before I go to bed. It's still very early. Back at the beginning, but it's the end. Well, it was a very productive evening. I was really happy with how much content I was able to put together for Instagram. I like it because I can just really get into the zone, and because I want to stay consistent on all my platforms, I do try to like utilize these moments of creative inspiration and motivation. Because I work a full-time job, the weeks do seem to get really just full. So this was the perfect time to just look at the calendar, and I did reconfigure some things to, I had a Valentine's Day post that I hadn't actually worked into my content calendar. So just juggled or like moved things around. That's a good day. And now I'm honestly getting into bed pretty early. It's not even 9 o'clock, but I am just so excited to read my book. I'm reading Crying in H Mart, and it's a memoir, and it's about death and grieving, and it's like really emotional, but really well written. So that's the end of my night. I thought there was a spider on my ceiling. There's not. Anyways, cheers.